Hi everyone, my name's Leah, I'm from Bristol and I'm talking to you today about cold capping. My treatment was last year. I started in June with chemotherapy, 12 weeks of Paxitaxol and carbo, followed by 3 rounds of FEC, the red stuff. Then I had a lumpectomy, followed by 3 weeks of radiotherapy, and the radiotherapy finished in March this year. I understand everyone's experiences are different, but I'm hoping by sharing what I went through, I can help some of you out there that are starting out and looking at treatment options. So with the cold cap, it wasn't ever anything that was offered to me at Bristol Oncology, but I knew about it from other people, so I pushed for it and asked for it. So if it's something that you really want to try, even if it's just to give it a go and see how you get on for the first time, stick with it, be stubborn, and hopefully everything will be all right. I'm not sure what's changed since COVID, but hopefully you will get the cold cap if that's what you want to do. So at Bristol Oncology they have the Paxman and they've got a couple of machines there, and you do have to spend slightly longer in the chair because of that, because there's a certain amount of time before and after that you have to wear the cap. I won't go through the times because it depends what chemo you're on, but there are guidelines on the Paxman website, or whatever cold cap you use, they should have the guidelines depending on what chemo you're having. And I would say be stubborn and stick with those times. A lot of nurses are quite keen to get you off of the cold cap sooner than it's suggested, and I stuck to my guns and sometimes even wore it for an hour or so longer. I'll go through now how I prepared each time. So with the 15 rounds of chemo that I had, I checked with my nurse and my doctor first, but I would always take a codeine and paracetamol about 30 minutes before, and I would turn up with a flask of hot tea. It's really helped me drinking hot fluids throughout the treatment, just to help soothe the pain, because it's obviously very cold on your head. I made the decision to get my hair cut short. I'd heard that it helps lessen the likelihood of hair loss because of the weight, and also the tangling of your hair. So I did actually get my hair cut to about here from this length before treatment, so it was a very hard decision to do, but I was actually pleased with the style. It was really nice, it made a change, so I went with that. I also made sure I took conditioner with me to every treatment, and applied the conditioner while I was there, and that helps the ice not stick to your head when the cap's taken off, because it can sort of be quite sticky when it comes off with the ice. So just make sure you don't get a brand that you really like, because I did and I can't use the conditioner anymore because I relate that smell to treatment now. It makes me feel a little bit sick. So get a nice brand that's kind to your hair, an organic brand. I got mine from Holland and Barrett, but not something that you think that you will use afterwards that you really love, because you probably won't want to use it after the treatment. When you come to get fitted for the cap, it may be different in other hospitals, but they had small, medium or large Paxman caps at Bristol, and we went through a bit of a palaver trying them all on. The small was too small, medium was a little bit too large, but the small, I think I tried once and it gave me a terrible headache because it was too tight. It really did hurt there because there's little nodules that stick into you, like the plastic that dig into your skin. So eventually I went with the medium, and I made a note of that as well, because you do sometimes see different nurses each time, and if they haven't written that down on your notes, that you have to go through the whole process again. So I used medium, and what I did every time was took a scarf with me and tied it around my head just to make sure it was completely touching my scalp. You have to make sure that the cap touches your scalp all over. If there's any gaps at all, you might experience more hair loss in those areas. So I did use this scarf, and I don't know, because I've got nothing to compare it to, whether it helped or not, but I just felt a bit more secure with it on my head. If you go to the Paxman website, if it is a Paxman that you're using, I'm sure other brands have similar things on theirs. There are lots of tutorial videos. I think there's links to their YouTube site, so you can actually watch the videos of how to fit them, but it's fine. The nurses know what they're doing there as well, so try and get it on as soon as you can. Even if you get there before and you're in the chair, just tell them you want it on. The sooner the better, because the longer you wear it, the more chance you've got of keeping your hair. I think I wore it for longer than normal sometimes. So with the cold cap on, I also wore a headband, So I was told, and I don't know if this is true or not, but it did help, that there are pain receptacles in your forehead here. So if you cover them, and also the cap can dig in a little bit, it does make the experience a little bit more comfortable. So I took this lovely headband with me, put it on and wore it there just on the hairline. But also, now you may or may not want to do this, my little trick was I put a sanitary towel inside it, which really did help and made me feel a lot more comfortable. So it was like a nice soft cotton headband with a sanitary towel in. So the cap would go on, I had my headband on, my scarf on, I looked a delight, but I didn't care. I was getting it done. And the first 10 minutes, I won't lie, they're not comfortable at all, but nothing as bad as I thought it was going to be. And I found that actually after 10 minutes, if you can get through those first 10 minutes, your body acclimatises. And I would sometimes question whether it was working, where it wouldn't even feel cold on my head, which is bizarre because it really does freeze your head. There'd be bits of ice all over my hair when I did finally take it off. But yeah, just try and stick with it, distract yourself, drink hot drinks, get through those first 10 minutes, and I promise you it will start to feel better. I also drank tons of water throughout, obviously not loads and loads of water, but at least about 1.5 litres a day. It does help flush the chemo through your system as well. You can go to the toilet during treatment because you are wearing it for quite a few hours. I think probably about 4 hours sometimes, but it does go quickly, weirdly, and I was doing it weekly. I had it 15 times and I'm so glad I did it. Don't regret it at all. And you just unplug yourself and go to the toilet and come back and plug it back in. It stays cold, it's fine, it won't stop working. So maintenance throughout chemo was minimal in terms of bad hair days. I'm really sorry, but I had a lot of bad hair days. No styling, I didn't use hair dryers or hair straighteners. I washed my hair rarely, and when I did, I used room temperature water. Just stuck my head under a tap basically to really loosely clean it. And I also to bed wore a lovely silk cap, and I had a silk pillowcase as well. Just moving around when you're asleep, your hair sort of tugs if you've got a normal pillowcase. And I do genuinely think that helped me keep a lot of my hair. It will feel like you're losing lots of hair at certain points, so I would go like that and lots would come out. It felt like a lot sometimes and I got really stressed about it. But then I look at what was left on my head and there was a lot of hair left on my head. There wasn't any kind of big bald patches. It thinned out a lot and probably receded quite a bit. I lost these bits here, but if you look now, it's been 11 months on. The length is about down to here. So yeah, I'm really pleased with the results and I'm really glad I stuck with it. And if it's something you're considering, I really hope that you can do it, firstly, and secondly that you have the same experience that I did. Your hair will grow back quite quickly. It'll feel like it isn't at first. I started using styling products and doing hair straightening stuff probably about 5 or 6 weeks after treatment. And then before I knew it, it just felt back to normal again. I went through a little bit of a spiky phase with the new hair. But yeah, it was great. And I've also been a bit naughty and had hair extensions. Probably going to pull them all out now. So my hair actually is back to how it used to look 11 months on from treatment, and I'm so pleased with it. So pleased. So these are just tape wefts. I don't know. They're the gentlest hair extensions you can have, and I can feel them in my hair, but yeah, there's no way my hair would be like this now if I didn't cold cap. So yeah, I really hope that it works for you as well. Like I say, everyone's different, but the ladies I know, I made some really good friends. They were like cold capping buddies. You have a really good chat and a natter, and I still see them now and they've all had really good success as well. So I'm sure they will say they're glad they did it too. Best of luck with everything. And I'm obviously on the support group, Leah Jeffries. Any questions, because I've probably missed stuff out, then please just message me on the group or privately, it's fine too. Okay, take care everyone, bye.